Okay, for our next part of this series, we're going to look at why cell size is important. And cells are generally very, very small, and they're small for a reason. So let's look at some of those. The main factor we want to look at here is cell volume to surface area ratio. So let's do a little math here. When we take a 1 centimeter cube, so it's 1 centimeter on all sides, and we figure out the surface area of that. Now remember, a cube has 6 faces, so they're each 1 by 1, so that's 6 centimeters square. Okay, so that's 6 centimeters square. Now what's the volume of that cube? Well, that's just 1 times 1 times 1. So all the different dimensions give us a volume of 1 centimeter cubed. And this should be a cm up here. And so we have a surface area to volume ratio of 6. Okay, well, that doesn't tell us much until we compare. Let's go over here and draw a cube 2 by 2, and all right, so this cube is 2 by 2 by 2. So what's the surface area of its 6 faces? Well, you can't just say it's 2 times 6 this time. Over here we did 1 times 6. Remember, each one of these is 1 square centimeter, so each face is now 4 centimeters squared. So if each face is 4 and there's 6 faces, that's a surface area of 24. Okay, so let's figure out the volume of that cube. The volume of that cube is going to be 2 times 2 times 2, and let's put some units on here. And this is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, and that's going to be centimeters cubed. Okay, so let's reduce this down to 3 over 1. So we have a surface area to volume ratio that's gotten much smaller. We went from 6 to 3. And as we keep going up and up and up in size, this ratio is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So big things have surface areas that are not as in proportion to their volume. And so a way to kind of look at this is, let's say you are changing your surface area in different situations that have to deal with heat. So if you're outside and it's really cold and you don't have enough clothing on, maybe you're just in a t-shirt and it's a fall day where it got really cold, you tend to kind of go like this to keep warm, so you're making your surface area really small. And the other side of that is if you're really, really hot, maybe you want to stand in front of a fan and cool down, you tend to spread out and let the fan blow on you. Now, why is this? This is all surface area. When you go like this, you decrease your surface area, so you have less transportation of heat out of you. And when you get big, you increase your surface area, and there's more transportation of heat out of you. So you're trying to either keep heat or lose heat based on surface area. All right, some other reasons to look at here. A nucleus and other organelles in a cell. In a small cell, substances don't have very far to travel, and that really helps the rate and control of chemical reactions in a cell. Where this cell right here has a big distance for things to travel across the cell, and that includes information as well. So small cells help with control. Some other things to think about is just metabolic requirements, getting oxygen or CO2 in and out of cells very quickly, and that all goes back to that surface area to volume ratio. And the same thing happens with how fast things will diffuse in and out of cells. The more surface area, the greater the amount of diffusion that can happen. Take a look at this chart. This is the example I did. We have a cube with side of 1, and we have 6 surface area and 1 for the volume. So that gives us that ratio of 6. This time we use a cube side of 5, so we go up to 150 and 125, but that ratio goes down. Even though these numbers got bigger, the ratio went way down. If you jump over here and you slice this cube up into 5 by 5 by 5, and each one of these is an individual 1 by 1 cube, look at your surface area, how much it's jumped. So you went from 150 to 750, but the volume stayed the same. So by doing that, you go back to that 6-to-1 surface area, which really helps these. If these were all cells, they would have a lot more area to bring things in, to get rid of things, and they're also smaller as far as control. Okay, we're going to wrap it up there. So that was part 3, and that was all about cell size, which is a very important aspect of this chapter.